Hello and welcome back to another Runaway American UK edition. I reacted to a comedian who was talking about gun laws in the US, and I had reacted to a Russell Howard video, so everyone was like, you need to check out the gun law video that he did a video on guns as well, so you should check that out because it's a great one. So here I am checking that out. I'm very curious to see what he says. I'm sure I'm quite familiar with his thought process because I have much the same. But let's give it a listen, and I'll save my comments till the end, hopefully, unless I have something that just comes to mind that I have to say right away. Okay, let's get into it.
The Las Vegas atrocity continues to dominate the news.
Yeah.
Well, not surprisingly, the massacre in Las Vegas has reignited the gun control debate in America.
The attack has prompted howls of outrage from many.
These mass shootings in the United States.
I will say, I'm sorry, I'm pausing right away. I lived on the Strip when this happened. I was living in Vegas. I was living on the Strip next to, if anyone's ever been to Vegas, I was living like close to Circus. So opposite end of the Strip though. But I got called out of like a dead sleep by my ex-boss, who called me from New York to be like, because I was visiting my parents who were living in Vegas, technically. So I had been living there only for like a month because I was visiting. I lived in New York. I was going to law school in New York. So I was there. She called me at like 2:00 in the morning, freaking out of like whether I was okay. Like she had heard about the shooting. One of my mom's friends, she taught at school in Henderson, Nevada, which was like the next town over to Vegas. And she lost her nephew in the shooting, one of the teachers. So it definitely touched a lot of people in Vegas. Like it was an extremely horrible massacre that happened. And just like at a concert, like it was just absolutely atrocious, like the fact that this happened. So
keep on happening with no prospect whatsoever of this one being the last.
It's
Nope.
a very, very sad day for me, personally.
yeah, it's so sad. Thoughts and prayers.
About you piece of shit!
Thoughts and prayers.
Not only is he self-obsessed, he continued to dodge the issue the world is talking about.
He refused to even address the question of gun laws.
Gun violence problem.
We're not going to talk about that today.
Not gonna talk about it! It was the worst mass shooting in American history, and he's like, this is hardly the time. Let's talk sausages. When an incident happens, you discuss the incident. Like, if my girlfriend caught me with my dick in a jam jar, I wouldn't be able to go, this is hardly the time! How dare you cheapen this moment?
Yes, show it off.
We need to talk about gun violence in America because nobody in power seems to be blaming guns. I mean, an NRA spokesperson dismissed the Las Vegas massacre by claiming feet are just as deadly as guns. Feet are just as deadly as guns.
Feet.
Oscar Pistorius.
They are known. Feet are known to be lethal. Oh God. Okay, I'm gonna continue.
The NRA weren't the only ones. Trump's friends at Fox News were making some outrageous claims.
If that psychopath had, God forbid, driven a truck into that crowd and killed 100 people, would we be talking about truck control?
Yes. As humans, we learn from our mistakes. It's called evolution. If a bad thing keeps happening, we fix it. That's why cars have seat belts and airbags and automatic brakes. We learn from mistakes. If I've had a curry, I don't go trampolining. The reason there are so many gun deaths in America is because they have a ridiculous amount of guns.
Americans own more guns than any other country in the world. 300 million weapons in all. That's 89 for every 100 people.
89 guns for every 100 people. In
The
UK,
same people, though, own like 80 of them. every person I know that owns guns has like an arsenal of them. It's not just like one gun and you're done. It's like once they collect them, they're crazy about their guns. I've not like, it's just either you hate them or you're literally nuts about them in the US. I've not met like an in-betweener.
6. And what do we hardly have in this country? Gun death. And some Americans like, you're English, you don't understand. If you had a gun, you'd feel safe. No, I wouldn't. I'd use it. Like, I'm English. We're angry all the time. All we've got is sarcasm. Imagine if we had a gun, it'd be a nightmare. I held the door open for you, you didn't thank me! Well, I can't believe you made a cup of tea by putting the milk in first!
Oh, that. Legitimate.
Talking in the quiet garage. Yes. That's why we don't have guns. Also, they're tricky to buy. Whereas in America, there are more gun shops than Starbucks, McDonald's, and supermarkets put together. It's easier to buy a gun than a Happy Meal. It's ludicrous. And again, you hear Americans going, I need my gun to protect me from ISIS. Bollocks. Americans are more likely to be killed by a toddler than a terrorist. And yet still, the NRA say guns don't kill people. People do.
I love that he does a southern accent.
If you answer a question by going like this, you're lying. Think about it. Have you been drinking? No.
Definitely not.
Have you been sleeping with my sister? No. Did you put your dick in the jam jar? Absolutely not. And the very idea that you would suggest that I would do a thing like that to something as sacred as sweet, sweet jam is ridiculous. In America, semi-automatic rifles are legal, but these products are banned. Kinder eggs, brie, and in Alabama, you're not allowed a sex toy. Over 12,000 people have died from guns this year. Nobody has been dildoed to death.
Fun way to go, though. Jesus.
That's right, madam. What a way to go. To be honest, I shouldn't be joking. This is a really serious matter because some Americans cling to the Second Amendment, which says,
"The right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed."
And that was written in 1791. Here's the kind of guns they had then.
Close your fizzle. Fully cock it back. Aim. And fire.
Here's the guns we have now. So probably time for a change.
Yeah.
But it's never going to happen, is it?
Nope.
It's never going to happen. Because Trump talks about the Second Amendment like an infant.
The Second Amendment purpose is to guarantee our right to defend ourselves and our families. We need that. In fact, I have a license to carry in New York. Can you believe that? Nobody knows that.
He'd shoot himself, let's be honest.
He's such a child. America needs an adult, not a kid. People are going to keep dying until that gets changed. And Americans go, you can't change the Constitution. You can. It's been amended 27 times in 200 years. Trump wants to make America great again, so make it great. Get out the Tipex, change the Constitution, and start saving lives.
Thank you. Honestly, like, chills with that, because, like, thank you. I said this in my other video about the one that I watched on gun control that the comedian did. This was even better, honestly, so thank you so much for this this recommendation. He's wonderful. He's fantastic. He's so well informed as well, and he puts it again in a perfect way. Trump is, let's be honest, not the brightest. Is he? We can all, I think, agree on that. Even if you're a big fan of Trump, like, we can all agree he isn't smart. He's basically the same. Like, my 4-year-old's smarter. Let's be honest. He really is. A lot smarter. Like, quite a lot smarter. If they were put against each other in a battle of, like, minds. I think he'd wipe the floor with him. But all I'm going to say is that Trump is a danger as well. And that's the biggest issue to me, is like, okay, so he's not bright, like whatever. The danger part is what scares me. And the part of like not acknowledging, that's something that I can never agree with in the Republican side. That is one of the reasons that you could never, ever see me as a Republican in the United States. I don't care if they came out with good policies. I don't care if they came out with a great opponent, like, you know, like someone to represent them besides the MAGA crowd. The problem would always be, for me, they will always be the party of the NRA. Every single one of them basically in the NRA has an A+ rating or an A- rating. Almost everyone in the Democrat side has an F or a D. And the reason for that is because they call for gun control. You would think that that would be a normal thing, that you would say, hey, when the number one killer of children, literally children from, I think, the age of 1 to 17 or to 20 or 19, I could be wrong, I can't remember the exact age, but it's 1 to like 19, is guns. It's not cancer, it's not car accidents, it's guns. That is the number one killer of children in the United States. And that's why I'm saying, like, when Sandy Hook happened, I think we all realized in the United States this was never going to change, because it was terrible with Columbine, but that was high schoolers, and no one likes high schoolers. You know what I'm saying? Like, no one was going to feel bad for the high school. Like, everyone feels bad for the high schoolers. It was still a tragedy. But if you are okay with allowing guns when 5-year-olds, when someone goes in and kills like 25 5-year-olds, you're fine with guns. That'll never change. They will never care. And that is the issue. Drowning used to be the number one cause of death in Florida for children. Now it's guns. And let me just say this too. Do people say like thoughts and prayers when like your kid is drowned? No, they say like, why didn't you have a fence? Like, why didn't you have a fence up? Why didn't you have proper precautions in? Like, why didn't you have an alarm when your door opened so that you would know that your kid was back there? Why didn't you have like a freaking security camera? Like, you should have had one of those bracelets on that tells you, like, that goes off an alarm in the house when they go. I had all of those things in place for my child when I lived in like Florida. For the brief time that I did, when we had a pool in the backyard, I had an alarm installed. I had a security camera. If he was out by the pool, he was always wearing a bracelet, so I knew if he fell in, I would hear it. He did safety training for freaking, like, he was less than a year old, and he was learning how to go on his back and breathe. So if we can do all of that to prevent drownings, how can we not do that for guns? That is my question. If it's as easy as going into a Walmart and purchasing a gun, that seems like it's a bit of an issue. As he said, it's easier than ordering a Happy Meal. How? I still don't get that as an American. And that's part of that is, like, I would say a good 75% of the reason I left. Also because we're basically going to start World War III. But that, like, I digress. My biggest issue in the United States was the guns. I never felt safe. I couldn't go to movie theaters. I couldn't go to malls. I couldn't go to churches. I couldn't go to supermarkets. There was not one place in America. My son was safer at home with me than he was in his school. I mean, that's technically true, but that's true of any place technically. But like, in the same way, I should be sending him to school in order to learn, not to have drills in case an active shooter comes. I've been in lockdowns as a teacher and as a student, and I can say it's scary as shit. We've had shellings found on our playgrounds in, like, when I was in Henderson. We've had shellings, and we've had shooters in the neighborhood, and we had to lock down the school for 2 hours. We had to stay after school. We were quiet for the first 45 minutes. We had to stay in the classroom quiet, and trying to do that with fourth graders is not easy. Like, telling them you need to be quiet. And what are you going to say? Like, shut up or you're going to get us all shot? Like, no, you can't make them scared. That's horrible. And the fact is, if someone does talk, they know you're there. What is turning off the lights and huddling in the corner going to do? If they want to get in your classroom, they're going to get in your classroom. There's nothing you're going to be able to stop them with. So very much. And that gun that he showed, that's what they did to watermelons. The things you read about, the Uvalde shooting, it was so bad they couldn't identify their children's bodies. Let that sink in. They couldn't identify them. They didn't see, they couldn't see who they were. They had to do it from shoes and clothes and DNA. That is horrifying. Sorry. It gets me like very, very upset because I'm just like talking to people in the US about it who are fans of guns, like most of my family, because like he did that funny Southern voice. Well, most of my family is Southern, and getting it through their head that guns are stupid and they kill people. People do not kill people. Like, people are going to kill people, yes, obviously, but guns make it a lot easier. If you're going to go stab someone, you're not going to get as far, and it's a lot easier to wrestle a knife out of someone's hand than it is an AR-15, because the AR-15 is going to kill like 20 people while they're wrestling. The knife's maybe going to kill the other guy, and that's it. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, I'm sorry, but it gets me very worked up. It gets me very angry. This is one of my like most passionate issues, and one of the reasons, like the biggest reason I left the US, because it will never change that I can foresee it happening. And it's awful. It's shocking that we continue to allow people to die daily from mass shootings, daily from just shootings. Suicide rates are massively high because of guns, like just horrible things. So thank you again for tuning in. This wasn't the most uplifting video, obviously, but I'd love to hear your thoughts again on gun control. Like, what are your, like, I know that there was something that happened in the UK to precipitate the changing of that law, like that guns like became even more regulated. I don't know the entire story, but I do know that something happened and it changed the law somewhat for you guys. I believe. I could be wrong, but all I'll say is, like, I'd love to hear your thoughts. I'd love to hear whether you think that the US should be just like take away guns, or should they regulate them, or do you think we're all crazy? Do you support it? Like, do you wish you were living in the US and getting one of the like Walmart guns? I don't know. Let me know in the comments though. I'd love to talk with you guys. This has been the Runaway American UK edition, signing off. Bye-bye.